Is 25-year-old Pete Weber, who was 5th in the national championship here just a year ago, but he won the Firestone Tournament of Champions. Dave Ferraro is 28 years old from Kingston, New York, has been off several weeks because of an injury to his right wrist. The rest helped it, along with that brace and glove he is wearing. Shooting on the left lane, Ferraro. Hitting a 4-pin here.
Dave Ferraro, Chris, starts with a 4-pin on the left-hand lane, and we're just going to have a slight delay very quickly here as the machine swept the 4-pin off. It must be reset. And a little bit of the strategy the players are looking for today is very simply this. The left-hand lane hooks a little bit more than the right. All the players who had the choice, that being Dave Ferraro in this match, finishing higher than Pete Weber, decided to finish on the right-hand lane, lane 26. The reason being is that if you pull the ball, you can get away with it on lane 26, and that's what normally happens under extreme pressure. So the players are really going to watch that. 26, heavy oil here, right in this area, light oil here, dry in this area. Same thing with 25, but the characteristic of the lanes are very simply that 26 will hook more than 25.
All right. Covering the 4-pin, Dave Ferraro. It was manually set on that left lane, and now Pete Weber is up. One of the bright young stars, 9 years, a member of the PBA, 10 victories, 2nd in the U.S. Open last year, as well as winning the Firestone. He's a joy to watch. If he can stay together, he can be the toughest man on tour. Leaving the 610. A little too much adrenaline.
You're right, Chris. As we look at the familiar profile of Pete Weber, the ball hooking a little bit high on 26. The high backswing of Weber here, keeping his eye on the target, drives through that pivot step, the big turn. Everybody was throwing strikes in the practice, but it's for real now.
It was amazing. Like make that spare. When we taped it a week ago, Earl Anthony couldn't miss on making the spares, yet he could not hardly buy one when we did the show. Pete Weber now moving to the left. Here's a man that was the #1 money earner last year, $179,684. This year, 26, a chance for 51 today. Nice preparation.
Definitely taking his time. Pete has struggled in his last 2 championship round appearances here at Imperial Lanes in the national championship. He'd like to win a game.
He now gets a 10-pin on the left lane.
A little bit more about what the PBA does for the national championship and all the majors. First place, as you watch the action of Pete's ball going through the pins, we use brand new bowling pins, and that makes a big difference. The new pins do not fall as easily as pins that have been used for a couple of months. These pins were put in here last week when the player threw the first ball. They're 3-pound, 8-ounce pins, and there's a premium on hitting solid in the pocket.
Lots of speed cross lane for Pete Weber, and he now has marked with 2 spares. Dave Ferraro is up now, and he's a very, very nice young man, 28 years old. Wife Gloria is here. 1 son, John David. Boy, everything went in practice, but not so.
Major difference as you see the profile of David Ferraro, 5-step delivery, very short, controlled backswing, keeps the ball in play. Has a little bit loft as he switches balls, and he's going to quickly be up on the approach to convert the 10-pin.
Oh! Well, that should loosen him up considerably. That was so close.
Well, the 10-pin has been the story at Imperial Lanes for the 20-some years that the PBA has been coming here. The bowling center, the key is to get a smooth roll, carry the 10-pin out, and we saw the making of the 10-pin be the difference in the national championship a few years back when Mike Durbin missed the 10-pin to let Earl Anthony walk into his 3rd national championship right here. Now Ferraro up, match is even.
First strike of the first game. Weber is up. The winner of this match will meet Don Janello, local favorite here, and then Todd Thompson, and then Brian Voss.
Ferraro changing a little tape in his thumb hole, Chris. The lights and the pressure making that hand swell a little bit, removing a piece of adhesive tape that he had previously put in the thumb hole to make it feel comfortable.
For Pete, his 41st television appearance. And another 10. And it's getting to Pete. You can tell the way he shakes his head and the way he walks. That slow little move back to the return.
Now, as the ball enters the it's not quite solid. And look, it's a little bit light in the pocket. And with brand new pins, you do not carry that cheap strike, as we call it on the tour. You must hit solid.
All right, 3 spares. We asked Weber earlier why his big hook ball is done so well under these conditions.
Well, it goes back to my background of growing up on the lacquer shot. I learned how to hook the ball on the lacquer, but then again, I also learned how to go straight up, and that's what I've been doing pretty much this week.
Okay, Pete Weber.
And what he, excuse me, Chris, what he meant by lacquer is all the lane surfaces up until 1970 had a lacquer finish, but his father maintained that lacquer on his bowling center until the 80s.
And Pete, with a high hit, has left the 4-10, and total disbelief and confusion on his part at the moment. His dad was here earlier in the week.
Needs to get the ball over next to the 4-pin, slide it over into the 10, Chris. He's grabbed a low-friction ball. He's going for it.
Robbed. Great shot, but didn't make it. We'll be back.
Okay, listen up.